Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Thursday, March 12th. And it's time to wrap it up. So far, we have a pretty darn sloppy trading day. After the initial runs back and forth in the morning, we have been pretty much going sideways, just flopping around. Slow drift to the downside, if anything, but man, it's been difficult. I haven't even tried to trade this after this 11 o'clock time frame. They've been just twisting back and forth here. And I mean, if you had a little channel for a while, then it took it a little bit lower, then back, not quite up to the high again. It's just very, very, very difficult to trade this. The best way to approach it is see as not traded. Just leave it, especially when it's volatile like this. If it's not a lot of range, fine. Then you can probably work with the edges and just step in front of an edge. But you're gonna have these bars are like what is that bar? It's like 98 up to the 10-point bars. These are like between 5 and 10 point bars. It's just a little bit too much volatility to step in front of it. So trying to buy that lower edge on the ES, this rotation right there, 95 to 89 is like 6 point. That would have been almost a stop out. So it's just difficult to deal with that. And I mean, you'll know, I mean, you can see how it's developing. After the initial run, yes, started going sideways, flopping back and forth wildly, and not much you can do about it. So I haven't taken any trades since. I'm just sitting on my hands waiting for something to happen, something interesting, but nothing has materialized. On the Nasdaq, same story there, just slopping back and forth. On the way down, on the way back up, it took it a little bit lower. On the way back, I was looking for potential short setup, but that's you can see it's grinding it, grinding it, grinding it. It's just not failing. So, and then up here to the tablet, and I wouldn't say this is necessarily trending in a way that I wouldn't get short against the tablet. So I'm just like, fine, okay. So the M period, it tested the lows and ran back up again, and we'll see where they're going to go. But they can potentially trade it back up again a bit. They can take it lower into the close. It's just anyone's guess at this point. All driven by oil prices. Oil prices were up to 96 right now. Then they were down to like 80s, and then we're back up to 96. So it's all over the place. So volatility is still raining in a pretty good way. So just two trades on the Nasdaq this morning. Two trades. I'm $45 on that. And that was basically early on this morning. I tried two trades. So the one trade was a short one on the way down. That's what's shaking out. Where I took myself out early on that one. It wasn't developing. And the second one was a long one against the Vitas failure at the low here. And I think I got a little bit out of that one. That was only two trades I took. But then I just realized how sloppy this is. Like, yeah, no, I'm not stepping in. I'm not playing that game because, I mean, it's a day like this you can really chop up your account. Or if you have enough range on your stop and you're willing to fade in on an edge. In other words, when you're trading like this, you get in, start fading in at an edge. If you're right at the edge, you'll be good. If you have to fade a bunch of heat, you have to just fade a bunch of heat, and hope it doesn't run enough to stop you out. So range bound trading going into the overnight, I would probably start with a slight buy to the downside, given what's going to be going on throughout the day. The capital flow here, we have well below the 67, 60s. So we're right in that lower end. So I would just start with a buy to the downside on both the S and Nasdaq and see how far I want to take it. Now, remember, after tomorrow's trading is still March. After Friday's trading, we're trading June. So we're rolling it over the weekend, as you know. Bond market is already rolled. That's already trading June, and nothing's going on there either. So real quick on that guy. I did not try to trade this. There was a couple of opportunities potentially, but I was just looking at it's like, yeah, no, I'm not taking any of these. So just kind of slopping around in the middle. Not much action going on the bonds. So range bound trading, I would probably stay with the bias to the downside on the bonds still. They haven't really retraced a whole lot. I thought it's going to retrace some of that move from yesterday, but they have not. So starting off, looking to sell strength on the bonds for rotations down. On the ES Nasdaq, same story, looking to sell strength up to that level, 67.30s. Selling strength up to the 740s on the Nasdaq. Above that, maybe start thinking about the retracement trade, but that's pretty much the dynamic going into the overnight. And on news for tomorrow, Friday the 13th. We're not superstitious, and if you are, don't trade. Go hide in a corner. But we got at 8:30, we got durable goods, GDP, personal income, all coming out at 8:30. Personal income is the PCE index. That's going to be a a potential market mover, and expect the margins to be raised going into tomorrow. Consumer sentiment and job opening at 10. So we've got a fair amount of news tomorrow. It could be an interesting day. And we'll see how this whole thing shakes out. If they get any positive news on the Strait of Hormuz, it's probably going to be very positive for the market. But right now, it's anyone's guess. I've been running in. They've been hitting some boats and some boats that are anchored, and that's just unfortunate. It's just it tells you a little bit that it's still very much an active scene. So we'll see how it's going to go. Right now, that's how we leave it. And if they start taking this lower, I'm going to stay on the short side if anything. So, all right, guys, we'll leave it there. So 2 trades on the Nasdaq, up 45 on that, and I was smart enough not to try to be cute about it today and overtrade it. So I'm proud of myself. A day like this, otherwise, it's so easy to get in on these little rotations. Get in, get out, a couple of winning trades, and then you have a big losing trade. It's like, oh god, that's usually what happens. I mean, you get in on some of these little rotations. You get in there, have a small winning trade, you get cocky, you get in, suddenly later run it a lot harder than you think. You try to repair it, and suddenly you just give everything back again. So that's why I don't try to trade these. If I just kind of sit on the sidelines, unless you see really good setups, I mean, you can do it. But these V bottoms and V tops are just notoriously difficult to trade. All right, guys, we'll wrap it there. So I'll see you back in the morning. We'll go at it again, Friday the 13th. Oh boy. Anyway, I'll see you back in the morning. Later.